ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
A teenager was killed after a car crashed into some trees this morning. We'll have the details. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A family in Ellsworth is trying to put their life back together after a fire destroyed their home on Monday. And the Deer Isle Nursing Home has gotten the okay to move forward as they try to reopen. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories in just a moment. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Wednesday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks across the Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Here we go. We have alerts in effect. These are winter storm warnings. These are winter weather advisories. Both of these up until 7 p.m. on Thursday, as we'll be watching for snowfall, some significant snowfall in a few spots as well. And over toward the ocean, this is a small craft advisory also posted until 7 p.m. on Thursday as well. So as we'll be watching for some active weather and wind that'll begin to develop. But otherwise, we're quiet at this moment, though. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky for now, but more clouds will be moving in as the day progresses on. We'll zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. There's all the action right here, tracking from the west going toward the east. This will start to get going, especially after midnight, with more significant snowfall on the way for us, some accumulating snow before we're all finished up. Increasing clouds later on tonight. The snow gets going, especially by about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe with a little bit of a break as we head towards Thursday morning and especially during the afternoon. Winds will be out of the northwest from time to time at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe a few higher gusts at times. Well, the winds really start to pick up, especially as we head into your Thursday with the snow that will be moving through. So your forecast for today, mid-30s, partly cloudy and breezy. Today's also Ash Wednesday. Everything should be fine with that northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. The hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon and evening period, make sure clouds and sunshine overall, temperatures in the 30s and 20s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. Basketball is the talk of the town this week. Tyler Cruz is at the Cross Insurance Center. He joins us live for an update from the tournament. Tyler?
Susan, yeah, well, the weather is still fresh in our minds. Probably a good time to remind everyone there are no games on Thursday in all 3 of the main high school basketball tournament venues, Bangor, Augusta, and Portland. Instead, we have 8 games today from the Cross Insurance Center, starting with 2 Class B girls semifinals matchups. And our regional finals matchups are set there in Class B girls. Ellsworth, the number 3 seed, will take on Old Town, the number 1 seed, for a trip to the Gold Ball game. Behind me, Orono and Presque Isle is about to tip off for the first Class B semifinal game. We'll have all these highlights for you guys later tonight. Ryan Sudol will be down in Augusta for the Class A North semifinals. Both boys and girls are playing there. Should be a couple of good matchups. We get to see number 1 ranked Brewer, number 1 ranked Gardner in the girls' side in action. See if they can punch their ticket to the regional final games as well. And we'll have all of these updates from here. Class D semifinals will kick off our afternoon session at 4 p.m. I'll be here all day getting used to the smell of popcorn and the sights and sounds of basketball. Great couple of games early on. Hopefully there's more of that today. That's all from me from here. Susan, back to you.
Thank you, Tyler. A 17-year-old boy was killed this morning after a car crashed into a tree in Saco. Officials say 2 other teens were also injured in the accident, including one who suffered life-threatening injuries. It happened around 12:30 this morning on Mast Hill Road. Officials say the Ford Fusion had just passed another vehicle when it went out of control and struck the tree. Police have identified the victims as 17-year-old Daniel Abbott of Saco, who was killed in the crash. The 18-year-old driver was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. A juvenile girl who was the passenger in the back seat was not badly injured. They suspect excessive speed was a factor in the deadly crash. In the aftermath of a house fire in Ellsworth, members of the community are rallying around the family to help them with whatever they need. Our Matthew Gerontic has the story.
Sean Giassi described the moment he rescued his parents from the fire inside their home.
There was so much smoke, and then by the time I grabbed my mom, I couldn't really see.
Ellsworth Fire Chief Scott Gillerot says Giassi's ability to stay calm in that moment was key.
For him to be able to remain calm enough to be able to effect that rescue and get them out of the house says a lot for his abilities.
Giassi's parents were transported to Healthy Acadia's Inspire Recovery Center for temporary housing before the Red Cross was able to relocate them to a motel. Even though the 3 are displaced, Inspire Recovery Center volunteer Taylor Carney says the 3 are in very high spirits.
So the older gentleman, he was like really sweet. He was really nice. He wasn't too talkative after the situation, but I could tell he was like happy to be around people. And then the older woman, she was really sweet. She was really funny. She had jokes like the whole time.
As the family goes through these troubling times, the Ellsworth community wants them to know that they have their back.
Our hearts definitely go out to the whole family, and if there's anything that we can do for them, we'll be right here.
Giassi says his family appreciates the outreach and support as they look for a new home.
Just looking for a roof. Like I just need a place to stay. Like it's amazing how much you rely on that, where it becomes just the norm, and then you don't have it.
Anyone interested in organizing support for the family should contact Healthy Acadia Recovery Resource Navigator Tracy Crossman at 207-460-7237 or donate to the family's GoFundMe page. In Ellsworth, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A 6-year-old girl from Chesterville is recovering in a Boston hospital after being attacked by a dog. Lily Norton was attacked by the dog on Saturday and underwent 11 hours of surgery on her face. She received more than 1,000 stitches to close her wounds. Lily is in critical condition and faces a lengthy recovery. A GoFundMe page has been established to help raise money for her family. They're expecting to make many trips between Maine and Boston while their daughter recovers. The money will help cover their expenses. Governor Janet Mills signed the supplemental budget into law Tuesday after the legislature overwhelmingly approved the measure last week. It includes $25 million in state and federal funds for long-term care facilities and another $25 million for Maine hospitals to support their recovery from the pandemic. It also includes $6.5 million for small businesses insurance relief and $6.6 million to support a 1% cost of living adjustment for Maine state retirees. The budget also authorizes the Maine Commission on Indigent Legal Services to boost the pay rate for attorneys representing poor clients. A new lab in Norridgewock focuses on testing Maine's water for dangerous PFAS chemicals, also known as forever chemicals. Maine Laboratories LLC is the first commercial lab in the state approved to test for PFAS in drinking water. The lab is run by the husband and wife team Chris and Katie Richards. The lab estimated turnaround time for testing samples is 2 weeks or less, compared to the 3 to 5 week wait time typically experienced by consumers and state agencies. CEO Katie Richards says their goal is to help the state in addressing the backlog of testing needs that have piled up. For more information on PFAS testing resources, visit mainlaboratories.com. An update now on the potential reopening of the Island Nursing Home in Deer Isle. According to a spokesperson for the facility, the Maine Department of Health and Human Services has issued a conditional license to operate a residential care facility in Deer Isle. The conditional license is due to a laundry list of requirements that still need to be met before the facility can start accepting residents. The board had set up a goal to open by July of 2023, but since then they voted not to reopen until $1.5 million was raised to offset 3 years of anticipated losses. The board says that it would be irresponsible to reopen and not have sufficient resources, risking another closure. The board is hoping for financial support from residents as well as seasonal residents of the surrounding communities, along with municipal support to ensure financial stability before the Island Nursing Home will reopen. In the meantime, a Building and Grounds Committee was established to make some required improvements and maintenance before the home is reopened. If anyone would like to serve on that committee, they can contact Skip Greenlaw for more information. A citizens' initiative to get an automotive right to repair referendum question on the ballot has been deemed valid by the Secretary of State's office. On January 19th, a group of Maine repair shop owners delivered more than 83,000 signatures to the Bureau of Corporations, Elections, and Commissions. Those signatures were from voters who support the initiative. The Bureau found more than 74,000 of those signatures to be valid. A minimum of 67,682 signatures was required. Under current law, many manufacturers must send repair data and maintenance info directly to dealers while withholding it from consumers and independent shops. A right to repair law would open access to that diagnostic information, giving motorists the option to go to the mechanic of their choice or work on the vehicles themselves without being forced to go to the dealer. The initiative will now be sent to the legislature for consideration. Lawmakers can choose to enact the bill as written or send it to a statewide vote in November. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, a place that cares for injured birds and turtles will be able to help even more. We've got the details when we return.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Looking to haul a new piece of equipment? Homeowners or commercial, Coops Truck and Equipment has the right trailer for you. Coops is the largest dealer of truck flatbeds and hauler bodies in this state and can replace any old rusty bed or outfit any new truck. Our full-service facility can modify all truck and trailers with steel and aluminum fabricators on duty. We are your go-to place for CM truck bodies, H&H trailers, and load trail trailers. For trailers, truck bodies, truck outfitting, and more, it's Coops.
There was no salt or sand.
And because of that, I slipped and fell.
When snow or ice isn't removed, you need a powerful law firm to go after every dollar you may deserve.
I needed to protect my rights.
Cases like this require resources and experience.
Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers and more than $500 million collected for Maine families.
I never thought I'd get that much.
The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
Max True Value Hardware in Unity is the best option year-round for all of your home improvement projects. Backed by one of the leading paint manufacturers in the United States, Max will color match or custom mix any color for you. We care about your pets too, carrying all of the essential pet products in our store. During those cold winters, we take the extra step to help with wood pellets ready to load on site. We also fill all size propane cylinders year-round. Max True Value Hardware. We take pride in serving our community. Let us know how we can help you today.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
There's good news for conservationists and animal welfare advocates. The new expansion at Avian Haven in Freedom is complete. The Bird Rehabilitation Clinic expanded its facility in order to care for more injured birds and turtles that are transported to the nonprofit. Avian Haven also built a staff cottage where the nonprofit's newly hired operations director can live and work on site. Executive Director Lee Hallett says these new additions give the nonprofit more flexibility.
We'll be able to provide more care and differentiated care. We'll be able to keep, for example, baby birds in a different area, and this can be where injured and ill birds are kept.
Last year, Avian Haven nurtured 3,400 birds and 75 turtles, while thousands of others were healed and released back into the wild. Paper mills used to be a huge revenue source for Maine. Now only 6 pulp and paper mills are still in operation in our state. One of them is the Sappi Somerset Mill in Skowhegan, where the employees are proudly churning out 1 million tons of paper a year. As Jody Hersey tells us, a lot of that paper is being used to replace plastic packaging.
The Sappi Somerset Paper Mill in Skowhegan has 3 paper machines, which for years were used to produce graphics or coated paper found in magazines. Now the company is thinking outside the box and creating paper packaging as an alternative to plastic packaging.
About 5 years ago, we converted the first paper machine to paper packaging. Customers are using paper packaging for cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, that sort of thing.
The company recently announced it is investing $418 million to convert paper machine number 2 to offer the same product.
This investment is very important for the long-term future of the mill.
The Sappi Somerset Mill is also focused on being environmentally friendly on site, which is why the company uses every bit of the hardwood and softwood trees that are transported to the mill. The company says nothing is wasted.
When we bring the logs into the mill, we remove the bark and we burn the bark in our boiler to produce both steam that's used in the papermaking process as well as generate our own electricity. Then we chip the tree into small chips that we then turn into pulp, but those chips contain both lignin and fiber. The fiber we use in the papermaking process, and every day we're learning something new and trying to figure out how to make the process better.
With a staff of approximately 750 employees producing over 1 million tons of paper a year, there's no shortage of hands to help keep things moving and rolling into the future. In Skowhegan, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Bangor's Planning Board has approved plans for a new tiny home neighborhood on Hammond Street. Last night, the board gave its unanimous support to a plan to build 34 properties. The plan is to construct them on site of an old mobile home park to help deal with the lack of affordable housing. If granted final approval from the city, the developers hope to begin construction in the fall and finish next spring. The monthly rent for the tiny homes is expected to be between $800 and $1,200. After the break, we'll find out what you can do to make sure your family is ready if there's a natural disaster. We'll be right back.
Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor is the best and only spot you should go to for your rug cleanings. Serving Maine for more than 70 years, we care about your rugs. Clean rugs last longer, and our family takes pride in being the professionals that you can trust. Our cleaning process consists of soaking your rug in a bath, shampooing, rinsing, and drying in a humidity-controlled dry room, making sure no detail is overlooked. Need a repair? We fully service every type of rug for you. Saliba's Rug Cleaners.
We care about your rugs.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Elantra. Lease a 2023 Hyundai Elantra for $239 a month or get 2.9% APR for 48 months. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to business.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemmainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
President Biden meets today with NATO allies of the eastern flank following an impassioned speech in Poland where he said Russia will never win in Ukraine. He's wrapping up his 4-day trip to Europe, which started with his bold visit to Ukraine. We're learning it was on that day Russia apparently carried out a failed test of an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, as President Biden wraps up his 4-day trip to Europe, sources say the U.S. believes Russia carried out a test of an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S. But it appears the launch failed, the test happening around the time Biden was in Ukraine Monday.
President Putin in Russia has been highlighting its development for quite some time. Specifically last year, about 2 months after the invasion of Ukraine, he was highlighting it as this most powerful weapon that would be able to defeat any American defenses.
The missile apparently able to carry 10 warheads and potentially travel farther and faster than old Russian designs. Sources say Russia notified the U.S. in advance of the launch.
So potentially maybe this launch was pegged to the big speech that he gave before the Russian Congress.
But Putin didn't mention the launch in his speech Tuesday, instead formally declaring that Russia will be temporarily suspending its participation in the New START treaty with the U.S., the last pact that regulates the two largest nuclear arsenals. News of the missile launch comes on the heels of President Biden's fiery speech in Warsaw, Poland, where he vowed the U.S. and its allies will not waver.
Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia. Never. And the United States, together with our allies and partners, are going to continue to have Ukraine's back as it defends itself.
Today, Biden meets with leaders from the Bucharest Nine, reassuring those Eastern Flank NATO allies that his administration is on high alert for any threats that may be spurred by Russia's war.
When Russia invaded, it wasn't just Ukraine being tested. The whole world faced a test for the ages. All democracies are being tested.
President Biden is also expected to reassert to U.S. allies that NATO is stronger and more unified now than before Russia's invasion, before he heads back to the White House later today.
The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has ordered Norfolk Southern to pay for the cleanup of the train wreck and chemical release in Ohio. It happened Tuesday in the wake of federal regulators taking charge of the long-term recovery efforts. EPA Administrator Michael Regan warned that if Norfolk Southern fails to comply with the cleanup, to the extent the EPA has ordered it, then the agency will complete the work itself and seek triple damages from the company. The company is now required to reimburse the federal government for a new program to provide cleaning services for impacted residences and businesses. This tacked on to Ohio Governor Mike DeVine's request that Norfolk Southern failed to address the contaminated soil underneath its tracks, repairing damage from the explosion and continuing to run freight again. He said the company would have to take up the tracks and remove the soil. Natural disasters can happen suddenly at any time. There are things you can do to help protect your family after an emergency. With more, here's ABC's MWin.
A thunderstorm, a hurricane, flash flooding. These weather events can happen at any time, potentially creating dangerous conditions around you. The CDC recently put out some tips to keep you safe. After an emergency, tap water may not be available or safe to use. If you suspect or know your water is unsafe, do not use it for drinking, brushing teeth, preparing food, making ice, washing dishes, or making baby formula. Instead, use bottled, boiled, disinfected, or filtered water. During an emergency, it's also important to keep good hygiene practices to prevent disease. If you have access to soap and water, wash your hands to prevent spreading germs. If you don't have soap and water, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Emergencies can also create feeding challenges for families, especially those with infants. If your baby is less than 2 months old, was born prematurely, or has a weakened immune system, it's important to use ready-to-feed infant formula in any emergency. Liquid infant formula is made to be without germs and is the safest option for infants not receiving breast milk. Visit the CDC website for more information on how to stay safe during an emergency. With this Medical Minute, I'm MWin.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
If you think about it, hash browns are the French fries of breakfast.
Who says it's not French fries that are the hash browns of lunch and dinner?
That's also true.
There's a deal for every friendly discussion at McDonald's. Like now, get sausage McGriddles, hash browns, or a sausage McMuffin. Pick any two for $3.
Oh, that feels so good. What a sweetheart. I'm so lucky.
These socks are so soft. And her feet don't smell? These would be perfect for hunting season.
Moisture wicking, odor resistant, hypoallergenic, softer than cashmere, and warmer than wool. Get your alpaca socks and more at the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
Hey babe, can I borrow these socks?
Luna Family Auto Sales is a locally owned business run by a husband and wife team.
Here at Luna Family Auto Sales, we combine our passion for cars with providing service to the community and local economy. Featuring no dark or hidden fees at all, we offer financing for all credit types and service everything we sell.
Check out our website at lunafamilyautosales.com.
Or come in and say hi. We'd love to meet you and introduce ourselves. Luna Family Auto Sales, 649 Stillwater Ave, Old Town.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I was getting a lot of mail about Medicare, getting pretty confused about it.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Somebody said something about Senior Planning Center.
I heard a senior planning center, so we called them.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
I couldn't begin to do it all on my own, but Senior Planning Center did it all.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center helped us so much.
Biggest help I could ever have asked for.
A state police trooper is making the rounds on social media after helping out an injured animal. On Monday night, Trooper Samuel Tulmick was patrolling on Interstate 95 in Fairfield when he came across a motorist that needed assistance. While he was helping out that motorist, he found an injured barred owl in the middle of the interstate. The owl was placed in an animal carrier and taken to the Warden Service headquarters in Sydney. A state biologist will take a look at the owl and, if needed, transport it to an avian rehabilitation center. A cafe that looks like a construction site and sells cake that looks like bricks is all the rage in Seoul. What was supposed to be a showroom under construction ended up turning into a popular pop-up among young South Koreans. The cafe serves coffee and baked goods to those who want caffeine high in unique construction setting. The shop, called Area 092, will only be open for 92 days, hence the name. Following that, construction will restart for the showroom. I don't think there's any construction in the forecast, but there is plenty of snow. Let's check in with Devin Biggs to get the details. Devin?
Alrighty, here we are. So we have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories, both expiring at 7 p.m. for your Thursday. They will kick in later on tonight, as we'll be watching out for snow that will be moving in. It will be significant from time to time as well. We also have a small craft advisory posted until 7 p.m. Thursday as well, as we'll be watching for some winds along the coast and especially over land, but they'll begin to stir up the ocean. But otherwise, wave heights are starting to get a little active, 3 to 4 feet according to some of the buoys. Maybe not as bad further up towards the north and east from those buoys. So that's why nothing's in effect now, but will begin to kick in later on. But for now, we're quiet out there with a partly cloudy sky. It'll be breezy out there from time to time, but more clouds on the way, as we'll be watching out for our next system located right about in here, a very large system making a lot of national headlines with a lot of snow in some parts of the U.S., storms to the south, some other areas seeing storms, and we'll see some snow moving in later on tonight by about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning or so, as we'll be watching this moving in as high pressure moves away. So Futurecast timing this out, so by about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, the snow will start to fall and continue at least through Thursday afternoon to the evening time frame. By the time the advisories expire, the first round will be out of here, but a second round looks to get in here, especially as we head towards early Friday morning and maybe add a little bit more snow before we're all finished up. We'll get that out of here by Friday afternoon, and things will begin to improve after that. So here's how much snow we could possibly see. We're going to stop this at the end of round 1, maybe around 2 to 5 inches, maybe 3 to 5 inches before we're all finished up. Locally higher amounts near Bar Harbor of around 6 inches, and higher totals of around 6 to 8 inches further off to the south and west. That's just round 1. We'll get round 2 through, and we'll add a few more inches. So maybe in total between Thursday and the parts of Friday, we could possibly see up to 6 to 8 inches with locally higher amounts before we're all finished up in some spots. So that forecast for today is rather quiet out there on this Ash Wednesday. Mid-30s, partly cloudy and breezy. The northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Those going to services tonight for Ash Wednesday. Overall, not too bad. 10 degrees. The snow gets going after midnight, so any services tonight will be okay with that northwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, upper teens, snow likely. Travel will be tough from time to time tomorrow. The northwest wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast. So Friday, some morning snow still sticking around. Will improve with less clouds for the afternoon. Highs in the lower 20s. Getting chilly Friday night with 6 below for the overnight low. Will be partly cloudy Saturday with highs in the mid-teens. Lower 20s return on Sunday with a chance for snow.
Thank you, Devin. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Good luck and have fun to all area schools.
Tony's.
Best wishes to all area schools in the tournament from Color Concepts, 840 Hammond Street, Bangor. Good luck to all schools in the surrounding area from Gilman Electrical Supply, Newport.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.